You're a piece of shit, Papoose. You really are. You have turned into a piece of shit. This right here, the gambling, the failures that you had in your career or whatever that didn't pan out how you wanted to, has turned you into somebody else. If that was my friend, I would be like, girl, you just turned 30 years old. You are a world champion. You are accomplished. You have made it from out the ghetto, from the slums, from the depths of Flint, Michigan. You don't got no kids. You have your whole life ahead of you. Well, why are you attaching yourself to this 47-year-old man that doesn't have anything going, has no career, no job, no income, except for the income that he's claiming off of your percentage because you're a manager?
Text messages and put my number out on her page that got 10 million followers. She did that. Putting everybody in our business, letting them know that.
Let me know what you think. Was Claressa wrong for trusting him? Did Remy act defensively or vindicatively? Should Papoose have stayed neutral or stepped up? This is more than a fight. It's a lesson in honesty, perception, and what happens when relationships are played out on a public stage. You stuck by her all through her prison sentence. When she went down, you bailed her out, literally spent thousands paying bail. But that was only the beginning. After that, everything became expensive. You paid to move her stuff into storage, covered the monthly storage bills, found a condo close to the jail so you could visit every single day. You drove her back and forth to visitation. Every day. For an entire year. People kept telling you, you've got to get back to work. You can't go every day, but you stayed consistent. Eventually your finances collapsed. You drained your resources, so you had to step back. After a year of daily visits, you spaced it out to 3 times a week. But you never skipped a holiday. Christmas, Mother's Day, you were always there. You're dealing with a child, a stepson too, and you handled it all. You cooked, cleaned, supported everyone without working yourself. There came a point when if your son needed something and she had money in her account, she took care of it. But for the most part, you did everything. You carried that weight alone, hoping things would get better. And then came the heartbreak. This wasn't the first time you caught her cheating. Far from it. Since she got home, you've confronted her about infidelity multiple times. You stayed in the relationship for your child's sake, believing maybe love or patience would fix things. But she just kept repeating the same mistakes. You offered chances. You suggested therapy.
Somebody goes to prison. I know the procedure. So it was never about infidelity. When I came home, I went straight through that phone immediately. I know what was up. When I had to fight baby mothers at mother-in-law's houses on Thanksgiving, I knew that girl wasn't lying about what she was saying was going on while I was there. I knew she wasn't lying. I just was mad. I knew she wasn't lying though. If we keeping it a bean, I knew she wasn't lying. You refused to tell people, hey, me and Rem haven't even slept in the same bed since May 2022. You don't want to tell nobody that. You were so wrapped up in the whole black love thing. That was your thing. That was the only thing you had. And I realized that. And I respected that. You know what? I don't need to be out here telling people you ain't this and you ain't got this and you ain't doing this and you ain't that. Whoever get you, they'll see.
What women, how do y'all think y'all know what people, what do you tell somebody being broke to y'all? Because I see a lot of this, like upgrade, downgrade, so-and-so's broke, this one's broke. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, y'all don't know what people have. Actually, my ex might be the least income making person that I've ever been with. Ever. Everybody included.
It's my house. I paid for it. All 1.3 whatever in cash with my name on it only. I take care of the kid. I take care of it. So I sit here. You go. You move over here. You're a piece of Papoose. You really are. You have turned into a piece of This right here. The gambling, the failures that you had in your career or whatever that didn't pan out how you wanted to, has turned you into somebody else. If that was my friend, I would be like, girl, you just turned 30 years old. You are a world champion. You are accomplished. You have made it from out the ghetto, from the slums, from the depths of Flint, Michigan. You don't got no kids. You have your whole life ahead of you. Well, why are you attaching yourself to this 47-year-old man that doesn't have anything going, has no career, no job, no income, except for the income that he's claiming off of your percentage because you're a manager? Got you out here talking, looking crazy. He's the one that don't want to sign, don't want to get his stuff out of his ex house. Doesn't be there for his child that he begged for, but telling you he wants another one. Let me guess. He's telling you he want a son, right? He has a son. He has a son. He just doesn't like his son's preference, so he acts like he doesn't have a son. He has a son. We have a son. I would be telling you, girl, get your from over there. What are you talking about?
You begged her to stop, but she went on betraying trust again and again. At one point, she admitted she just can't keep her legs closed. That brutal honesty wasn't enough to stop her behavior. People online started hearing conflicting stories. She went on Instagram Live and claimed that she and you haven't slept together since May 2022. She made it sound like it was some mutual distance or agreement. But there was never any deal. You never agreed to stay apart or fake a sense of separation. She lied about seeing someone else, and when you finally found out, things escalated. She suggested therapy, you agreed. You both sat with a counselor and created a plan. She agreed to stop seeing anyone else. And then she broke the agreement again. That's when you snapped. You confronted the other man and knocked him out. You said it didn't matter where you saw him. You would have done the same thing anywhere. You paid every household bill, all the gifts, that row of jewelry she flaunted.
Like an expiration date on your career, or is it 8 years and that's it? Or when will you try and go into, having a family, or would you have a kid and then go back to boxing?
That's what I want to do. I feel like I put too much time on hold on having a kid and being married and stuff for boxing already. I'm gonna have a baby next year. We already have it planned out. I'm gonna have a baby next year, and then after I go through my stuff, then I'll come back and fight some more, and then probably have another one, and then do the same thing again. Like, I don't want to wait till I'm 40, 43, whatever, after my career to have my kids.
Right.
I want to be able to run at the park with my kids and stuff like that. I don't want to be too old. So I think that keeping my body in shape, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I think that'll also help me too while I'm going through.
You bought every piece. You documented it all. Your Instagram proved it. People delete social profiles when they've got something to hide. She erased hers. But every post you made stays there, a testimony to your loyalty. You supported her materially while she built a life around expensive things. But she recently told you she has no money. Despite wearing thousands of dollars worth of jewelry you bought for her every day. You even run a cash business, so you paid her in cash and watched her turn that money into luxury purchases. You contributed most of the music she's known for.
On the planet, y'all seen it. Her situation took place, like I said, I left my tour, came back, bailed her out. When I bailed her out, nothing but expense after expense after expense. I had to pay to pack her crib up, pay to put everything in storage, pay the storage bill every month, get a condo closer to the jail so I could visit her every day, driving back and forth to the visit to see her every day. Everybody in my ear, Pat, you gotta get to work. You can't visit her every day. My deal folded. I exhausted all my funds. I had to get back to work. That's why I only visited her every day for a year straight. But after that, I had the space to visit out to like 3 times a week. Never missed a Christmas, never missed a Mother's Day, never missed a single holiday I was there. Took care of the kids, took care of my stepson, took care of you, fed you, did everything for a year straight without working. There came a time where if her son needed certain things, if she had something in her account or whatever, she had to take care of it. If she could, she did. But for the most part, I did every single thing. That wasn't the first time I caught her cheating. I've caught her cheating numerous times since she's been home. I tolerated your foolishness, your cheating, and your adultery for years and years and years. For the sake of my child, everything will be fine, and you will still violate. Because you know why? You can't keep your legs closed, man. That's one of the main problems with you. But it wasn't good enough for you to move on and be an adult after you cheated. And I gave you numerous opportunities to stop the cheating. We went to a therapist. Why come on here and lie and say we haven't slept together since 2022? Why come on here and make it seem like that's true? We never had an agreement Oh, you be with who you be with and I be with. We never had an agreement. All we had was you lying, saying that you're not with him. Why would you deal with him? That's all we had. And when I found out the truth that you were with him, you said, let's go to therapy. And I agreed. Then we made an agreement with the therapist. You violated the agreement again. So when I caught him, I knocked him out. Wherever I would have saw him at, I would have knocked him out. I paid every bill in that household. I did nothing but buy you gifts. It's photos and everything of it. It's all on my page. Never trust a celebrity who erased their Instagram. They hiding from something. It's still here. Me buying her gifts. All that materialistic. If you notice, her entire thing was about materialism. Just fabricating. She just recently told me she don't got no money. So what you talking this money talk? You walk around with thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of jewelry that I bought every single day. You talking this jewelry talk. First and foremost, I have a cash business. So there's numerous times where I cashed you out and you went and bought things. Perfect. With my money. With my money. You want to talk about property? We bought this house together. We bought it together. I wrote 90% of the music since I've been with her. And if you come around me and you type a keyword from any one of her verses, it pops up in my phone with the date that I wrote it. I wrote one of your biggest records, man. One of your biggest hits. So you want to downplay me as an artist when I wrote one of your biggest hits. That's so sad. Look at the comments. They know what I wrote. I wrote tons of her music. 90% of her music, I wrote it since I've been around. I wrote probably like 3 songs on her first album. If I listen to it, I'll tell you exactly what I wrote. And when you listen to it, y'all know my pen. I never wanted a penny. I never wanted one dime. All of the music I wrote for her, I never wanted one penny. I never put my name on the credit. I never did anything. When people said, you know Pat writing that, oh, you want to go in here and say, oh, I was making music before and you was. That's why when I started.
Since you've been together, you say you've written about 90% of her songs. Some fans even know, if you type in a lyric from her verse, it pops up on your phone with the date you wrote it. You helped produce one of her biggest hits. You never asked for credit. You never took a dime. You stayed behind the scenes, letting her shine. Even when people questioned you, you stayed silent. That's how much you believed in her career. Meanwhile, she built this brand around writing on your name, but she minimized your contributions. It stung. And on top of all that, she got involved with Papoose while you were still together, or after. And now rumors swirl that she's with someone new altogether, someone younger than her. And people are mocking her for jumping from relationship to relationship. Remy Ma allegedly tried to warn Claressa. She said Papoose is broke, homeless, and only in relationships to support himself. Claressa brushed it off, thinking Remy was just a bitter ex. But Remy's words were true. Soon after Claressa gave interviews about wanting children with him next year, she got caught again cheating, barely a day later. That timing felt like an expiration date on her credibility. Claressa often discusses wanting kids and starting a family, not in her 40s, but while still young. She'll have a baby next